Hi YouTube. I thought I'd do a review on a fairly old knife that a lot of you probably recognize and at least have heard of. This knife is one that I didn't even know they still made, but I just saw GP Knives had a new listing on their website for them, so they're still getting them in stock, so they're not discontinued, and I didn't even really know that. So I thought I'd do a review on it since they're still making it, and it's a really cool design. So this is the Yojimbo 2, designed by Michael Janich, who I believe is a martial artist, not really a knife designer, but more of a martial arts instructor, I think. So he's really into self-defense and like the weapons stuff, so that's where this knife is designed from and who it's designed for. So as you can see, it's a really cool design. I really like the handle. It's kind of got a goofy shape to it, but it feels really nice. The blade also really goofy shape, looks kind of weird, but pretty useful. And as you can see, the tip's not broken off of this one. I always thought if I got one myself, I'd break the tip off, but this one looks pretty used and still has the tip. So first I'll get into the specs before I talk too much about it. The overall length opened is 7.5 inches. The blade length is 3.125 inches with a cutting edge of 2.95. The blade thickness is just like the Paramilitary 2, 0.16 inch thick, CPM S30V blade. Handle length is 4.5 inches and it weighs 4 ounces. So this knife has a lot of similarities with the Paramilitary 2. The G10 feels exactly the same. All the hardware is the same. The blade steel is the same. The way they did all the etching and everything in the blade steel, and most of all the compression lock, which is a really cool design. I really like how it functions. It feels strong and sturdy, just like a liner lock or a frame lock really. It feels nice and sturdy. It's not gonna come undone or anything. It's a really refined design. So I really like that, and I also like that your finger's automatically out of the way of the blade, so you can kind of just unlock it and drop the blade closed. These do get really smooth. This one is pretty dirty inside, so it's not the smoothest, but most of them get pretty smooth. Kind of just press the compression lock and they'll drop under their own weight. This one is a little stiffer. So going into the design, you can see the handle. It's got all these little kind of rounds in there for where your fingers go. No contouring at all really, except for right there for your thumb, which is nice. And the blade shape, which is a Wharncliffe blade. Really cool shape, nice straight edge. Trying to get my camera to focus. Works really well. So I think the reason they use the Wharncliffe is when you're fighting, if you have a curved blade, like a normal drop point or anything, if you do a slashing cut, you'll kind of hit them and then it'll kind of move down the blade and move away. But if you have this tip sticking out there, you slash and it continues going in and cutting, so it's better for self-defense. And I feel like it'd do a pretty good job at it. Feels nice, feels like it'd stay sturdy in your hand. It's got the normal Spyderco Hourglass pocket clip, like a lot of Spydercos. One of those screws is not the original screw. Or maybe two of them aren't the original. I don't really know because this is not my personal knife. And it has been used quite a bit. So a little comparison of a knife a lot of people know. The Spyderco Mannix. So this is the same, this is the Mannix lightweight, but it's the same size as a normal Mannix too. And you can see pretty close. The Mannix is bigger. This part really extends out more. The blade's a little longer. And since this is a lightweight, you can see it's got a really lot thinner blade on it, thinner handle, slightly thinner handle, but pretty close to the same size. So yeah, this knife pretty much, I'd say, mainly an EDC knife, but it would work well for self-defense because not very many people are just going out and being stuck with self-defense situations all the time, so you don't really need to dedicate a whole knife to waiting for something to happen like that, I don't think. But you'll have it if it's your EDC, kind of get every job done you need. It's relatively inexpensive now. They were a little pricey. They were up in like the 150s and almost 160s at one time, but now they've gone all the way down to 119, which kind of pisses me off because when I bought my Paramilitary 2, it was 159 or something, and now it's all the way down to 119 also because the knives are so similar. So they're a lot cheaper now. They're still making them. There you can see the Michael Janich logo, Golden, Colorado, USA Earth, made in USA, Spyderco CPM S30V, and the Spyderco logo. Kind of looks like a tick, but whatever. You can see it's 4-way reversible, tip up, tip down, right hand, left hand carry. All of these screws, all of the hardware is flush, feels really nice. They go right down into it, you can't really feel over them. I think it gives it a good look too. It's not like the big rounded ones that most knives have, so it's kind of different. Looks really cool. There you can see the cutout right there. And the jimping, there's no jimping on the blade, but the blade sits down in there, down under that jimping. So you still get some jimping. It's not great, but you can feel it. Kind of probably hear it too. Does enough to kind of grip your hand in. The Paramilitary 2 has a lot of grip on the thumb ramp, but this knife's a little different. Just has that liner grip, little jimping on the liners, but I think it gets the job done. The G10 is really high quality. The grind lines and all the finish work on the blade looks really nice. It's got a really deep hollow grind. It looks really good with those grind lines in there. You can see a couple scratches, but once again, this knife's been used a lot and it doesn't really show too many of those scratches, so I think it's held up pretty nicely. That's pretty much all to say about this knife. So don't forget to check out my other reviews on my channel, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.